clients don't need service, clients need attention. We had some major businesses with us who had invested in us, and this is assuming you run a tight enough ship where your service levels are already pretty standard. This is assuming that's the caveat there. Apart from that, it is the monthly call I would make to the big guys, the monthly calls I would make to them, or the lunch, those things that matter more to them, that there's someone to hear them.
Tell me, what can you tell us about facial recognition, what you do and who you work with?
I can tell you, but I'll have to kill you.
Hello and welcome to Mashable Mornings, Mr. Vaibhav Jain.
How are you?
Very well, very well. How are you?
Top of the world.
Oh, really? I like that answer. Oh, is that your phone?
Yes, sorry.
That is a busy entrepreneur right there. He is the director of RK Group of Companies who does amazing amount of things. He's into tech, mining, and there is a bunch of other things that we're going to talk about that you should look forward to. But first things first, do you have a morning routine? And if yes, what is the morning routine?
My morning routine is quite set. I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah.
So I wake up at 6 and we go for a walk with my lovely little golden retriever that I have. I have a golden retriever called Happy.
Hello, Happy.
I have a tattoo of him as well here.
Oh, wow.
So that's how much he means to me. So yeah, we go for a run every morning at 6. Even if I sleep at 5 a.m., I make sure at 6 I'm up and about with him.
Oh, damn.
And after that, it's time to my girls. I have twin daughters who are leaving for school or something that time. So
how lovely! What are they called?
They're called Anya and Anaya. And of
Hi,
course,
Anya and Anaya.
Of course, I have twins, right? Because once an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur. Even with kids, I went buy one get one free. So we tell a quick bye to them and then hit the gym. I have a routine. I take my body as a temple, so I hit the gym. That gives me energy to do everything else I need to achieve and accomplish in that one day.
Oh, super. That's, I think, an adrenaline rush that you need in the morning that sets you for the day, right?
Yes. Everything is energy at the end of the day. And if your body can't keep up with everything you want to do, there's no point. So yeah, for me, this is a tool which I want to use wisely.
Fair enough. I think that's a great way to go about life.
Yeah.
So, tell me this. You went to university here in Dubai.
I did.
And you must know that this is the first ever episode of Mashable Mornings on Mashable Middle East.
Oh my God, thank
congratulations.
you. Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. I love this. But tell me this. What is the name? Like, how do you pronounce the university's name?
It's called University of Wollongong.
Wollongong. Can we head that side?
Let's go.
Okay, so we're heading towards Knowledge City?
Knowledge Village.
Knowledge Village, oh.
Yes.
I mean, I'm so used to Festival City and all of these new places that keep coming up in Dubai that I think everything is a city.
Yeah, so this is an area called Knowledge Village. Let's go there.
Amazing. Why MBA in finance?
So I come from a Jain family. So I've been working since I was 14, 15 years old.
Oh, yeah?
And at 18 you get kicked out and said, okay, find your way now. So I went down the finance route. I have an elder brother who went down the tech route. And so it's just what appeals to you at that moment in time and what you think will give you the greatest options of success.
Yeah.
And that's why I went down the finance way. And Wollongong was where I had come to Dubai only for 3 months. So there was no plan to study. And now I've been here for 20 years.
Amazing.
So 3 months somehow became 20 years.
What were you here for during that time?
So, I studied, my college was in India.
Okay.
And I was on my way I got into London School of Business for my MBA. And I was on my way there, doing the typical route. But that's when my father was actually setting up something in Dubai for his business. Nothing to do with what I ended up doing.
Fair enough.
But for his business, he was setting up something. And I decided I've had my fun in life in college. I've had, in fact, 10 people's share of fun in life. So I think and he's always lived a king's life. So I couldn't imagine him coming here alone and trying to set up something, even if there was a team along.
Yeah.
So we came along and I thought I'll set him up for 3 months and then head on to LBS and be set like that.
Very rarely will somebody say no to LBS and join Wollongong, right?
Yes. Me, Exhibit A. So yeah, we did that and it worked out fine. I think it worked out the best. God's plans for you are much better than your plans for yourself.
For sure.
I genuinely believe that. because studying here exposed me to a field, and that ended up to me launching my hedge fund and things like that. So all's well that ends well.
Correct. I love that. You know, the current scenario, for some reason, our youth thinks that investment and VCing is a cool job. How cool is it?
I personally feel it is not there is no greater joy in life than actually creating something. It could be a product, it could be a service. So my high is creating stuff. And if I cannot just be a pure venture guy, that's not for me. I cannot be the guy who's sitting on a yacht and just investing in funds. I need to feed my soul.
Nice.
And my soul feeding only comes when I'm actually on the field, getting my hands dirty. So it's what appeals to you. I think you just follow yourself. And what appeals to me is creating stuff.
Do you invest in businesses or do you invest in people?
It's always people.
Yeah.
I don't care for your business. It is always 100% is the people. Dreams are not what you see when you're sleeping, right? Dreams are what keep you from sleeping. So that's the way I look at it. So yes, and if I see that passion in someone, you can make it out, and that's something you cannot fake.
Yeah.
So if you see that drive, that passion, it's always about people. It's never about the business.
Interesting. Gen Z will come at us for saying work-life balance. So tell me this, then how are you maintaining work-life balance when you're at a spree like this?
Look, we've got offices in 7 different time zones. I've got huge teams to manage. The group overall
7,000 people to be precise, folks.
You're not going to have a balance throughout every single day.
Yeah.
If your business is your baby, so if it needs special attention for a few months here and there, so be it. But you make sure you balance it in the next 6 months. So it needs to balance over a period of time. It doesn't have to be a every day or an every week balance, is the way I look at it.
Interesting. What was the office vibe when you were at a hedge fund? What was it like?
The office vibe. I would imagine I'm a good boss.
Yeah.
I'm quite chill. I'm not a sucker for 9 to 5 timings or stuff like that. Get your job done. I am not micromanager. I in fact hate micromanaging. It has to be delegate and forget.
Okay.
In fact, the only skill I feel an entrepreneur needs is the ability to build a good team.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only skill I believe you need in life. You need to be the hardest worker in the room, and you need to know how to build a team. I'm not a micromanager. I'm not a time sucker. I'll give you targets, and you need to follow up on those targets.
Yeah.
That's my job. I'm not going to leave it and then forget about it and only ask you on the last day. There'll be a reporting system, and that's it. Other than that, we dance together, we sing together, we do everything together.
Interesting.
So I have a favorite question that I always tend to ask in interviews when I'm interviewing senior leadership. It's, tell me something that you've overcome in life and how you overcame it. That tells me everything I need to know. And it also weeds out the fakers, because the fake people won't be able to get into the details of it, of the solution. If you throw at them a little bit about how you solved it, you will know that no, he's full of shit. Because people who actually solve it know the granular details of how they did it.
Yeah. You all should answer this question in the comments, and we'll have Vaibhav come in and look at those if you're senior leadership. So we were talking about New York. New York is very close to my heart. I went to film school there.
Okay.
You were going to be in New York on the 19th of November for being one of the most influential Indians. You're getting it from...
I don't think I deserve that honor, but the magazine has been extremely kind, and I take it with folded hands. My university is almost here. You can start having a look.
Amazing. So can we get inside? Yeah.
We can. Yeah, absolutely. Please go ahead.
So tell us, this doesn't look like a university at all. This is so well built.
Yeah, these guys know how to build infrastructure for sure.
That's true.
That's where the food court was.
Oh, wow.
And that's the whole thing is the university. The whole thing there.
Superb. This almost feels like a heritage structure.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of good memories here, man. Oh my god. A lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings, a lot of project deadlines.
I think that's college life for everybody.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Elite Magazine and Folk Media Group are coming together, and that's going to be amazing. We're going to be there, folks, for everybody in New York who's watching. 19th of November 2023. There's never been an event, never been an Indian event that has happened at the Statue of Liberty.
Wow.
And 17 years since any event at all has happened at the Statue of Liberty. So I think it's going to be pretty slick. I think we should get Puraskar in and hear him talk about it as well.
Absolutely, we should.
Hello Puraskar, welcome on Mashable Mornings.
Thank you.
Puraskar, good to
Hello,
see
how
you
are you?
again.
All good, Vaibhav.
Let's go.
So yes,
We've been talking about you and about the most influential Indians that's going to be happening on the 19th of November in New York.
yes, it's almost here now.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to have Vaibhav with us on the list.
Thank you for the honor.
No.
You guys have been too kind. I don't think I deserve it yet,
No,
but
come
thank
on,
you
the
very
kind
much.
of work you've been doing, you totally deserve every bit of it.
What happens when you put such influential folks in a single place? What are the kind of conversations that are happening? Are there like multiple business deals also that are taking place?
100%, it happens because see, the thing is, they all think alike. They all time is of essence, to everyone. And it's not like it's a weekend now, let's stop working, we'll start from Monday again. That never happens for these guys, am I right?
Yeah.
It's like they're working
No.
24/7.
No.
When is the last time you actually took a vacation? Like rarely, like, this is a week I'm not going to work. When was that?
I don't like to do that. I can't do that. In fact, that's like torture for me.
Exactly.
So we do take holidays, but at least twice or thrice a day I'll slip away from the kids and the wife and go make a call and like, hey, how's it going? And it's more for me. They are fine. The team is fine.
Yeah.
But it's more to feed my own soul and feel sane at least. I think completely disconnecting is overrated. I do
Yeah.
that once a year for the meditation camp. That's enough.
Yeah, that's fair. So
It kind of breaks in. I'm not kidding, even as an entrepreneur, Sundays, you don't like Sundays. It's like,
No, I hate Sundays.
it's like you're getting such a great week. Why did this come in between?
Yeah,
It's kind of disrupted the whole
Yep.
rhythm.
Yep,
so,
absolutely.
That's the thing. When you put 50 of the most influential people in one room, it kind of resonates in own self. And yes, this is usually
dude,
happen.
I can't begin to even think of the kind of ideas that are going to come out of this. I think, we were just talking about the kind of solutions that not just Enterprise Works but Titan will bring to the table.
Yeah. It's going to be very exciting. I can't wait to. Firstly, I want to thank him for the honor.
Yeah.
I think you're very kind, but I can't wait to meet the rest of them, and I think it's going to be the best event of the year.
Interesting.
Thank you so much. Nothing. It's about Titan. I mean, I'm sure you must have covered quite a lot, but I think the energy demand global right now. And an Indian stepping up to contribute
Service
to
it,
that.
yeah,
It actually is amazing, and we are everywhere. And the kind of people that we have on table and the kind of people we have at the event, they come from various different sectors, from education, from hospitality, from energy for that matter.
Oops,
But
sorry.
in particular way, Vaibhav interestingly comes from various different lines. I can't really put you in just one particular
Yeah, that's what we
category.
were trying to understand, how a guy who does hedge fund also does, enterprise also does Titan. Like it's just an amalgamation of a kind I've never understood.
No, like I told you earlier, I think I have a slight form of high IQ ADHD.
Yeah,
So I do tend to, but in all fairness, these have all been exciting things for me. I'm driven by heart more than anything else, and God has been very kind that we've tasted a bit of success in some of them. So it's purely I'm driven by instincts, man.
Interesting.
If I cannot sleep, I have to do it.
But
And
I want to take one thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Siddhaarth, I'm going to butt
No,
in a
go
little bit. So you're talking about success all throughout, and you have some wonderful things in your basket, and they're all wonderful. I'm sure a lot of people out there would also like to understand the failure, because I'm sure there are, people have this thing, sabhi acha hona chahiye, and they don't realize that as an entrepreneur, there are other things also. There are times you try and venture into something and it doesn't work out. Doesn't mean that you stop and like, oh, this is not my thing. You still continue. So what has been your stint? I'm sure you must have had a few.
Everybody sees where you are. Nobody knows what you've been through.
Yeah.
So it's been tough. Of course it's been tough. Everybody, your successes are public, and sometimes at the scale we operate, even your failures are public. So there is no easy way to deal with it. It is what it is. And we were talking about this earlier. I just believe in deep positive emotions and shallow negative emotions. I just try and make sure I don't take it in too deep. You try to remain what we like to call detached attached. You celebrate your successes. You really, every small success, you celebrate it with all your heart, with all your might, with all your mind. It could be happy doing a new trick, my girls winning something at school, or me winning the biggest contract of my life.
Perfect.
All success should be celebrated. So I'm a big believer in going out for meals and success. Doing it with the team, doing it with the family. So they also get a sense of belonging. So you celebrate success. When it's negative, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. But you should move on faster. You have to. There's no option. You have to keep it shallow and move on faster. And this deep positive and shallow negative, it runs through our organizations everywhere. For example, our hiring process is far longer and greater than our firing process. When a person is fired, our textbook and or our SOPs make sure it's done in 5 hours. We don't discuss it anymore. But the hiring process is a lunch with the first management, lunch with the second management. If it's a high position, lunch with me. We make it an event. We celebrate every new person joining the company. Normally it's the other way around. People gossip about people leaving, people gossip about who's going. So this deep positive and shallow negative runs in every aspect of life and organization for us.
Very interesting.
New York. Tell me about your party stories from New York, because why be all serious and talk business?
Oh wow, New York. The one story I can immediately think of is, I don't know if you know about the speakeasy bars in New York.
Yes, of course I do.
Yeah,
of course.
So I wanted to go to a genuine speakeasy bar, like they were in the Prohibition days, right? Which you can't make out that there's a bar here unless you know somebody there. So this was at like 2 a.m. and we had a special app that showed us the secret speakeasy bars
What is
in
that
New York.
Where is that app now?
We will talk offline.
Yeah, because a lot of you are looking at those apps.
Yeah. So there's this app that tells you the secret speakeasy bars, and these work like Prohibition type. So it was showing, and it showed a 7-Eleven out there. So this is like, no, something is wrong. There's a 7-Eleven here, and we're like, okay, I can give you guys a hint.
Yeah, you go through the 7-Eleven.
Yeah. This was about 4 blocks away from Empire State Building. So we're deep in Manhattan here.
Wow.
We walk into the 7-Eleven and we're like, is there a bar here? And that guy is acting as if he doesn't know shit. He didn't look like he even speaking English.
Yeah.
And then there was a red phone hanging there. And for some reason, we were 3 of us. We picked up the phone and we were like, hello, we're looking for this. Like, how many? And I was like, sorry? Like, how many? Like, we're 3 of us. Like, no, yes, no, acknowledging nothing. And we're just standing there, like, what just happened?
The door must have opened.
And then a window freaking opened.
A window?
Wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
A freaking opened, and they just rolled down some stairs. So we climbed in, and this massive place. I'm not even kidding. This was at least like 3,000 square feet of a club inside.
Interesting.
With tents and banging music, and oh my god. We left after sunrise.
Oh wow.
Because you can't make out what time it is anyway. It was like a Vegas casino there.
Interesting.
So we left after sunrise from there. So New York is New York.
Yeah, that's a song.
But you want that feel to be there, you know. The
100%.
thing is that, you know, that's the best part. It's gonna be fun with everybody out there.
So there is an after party. Is that what Puraskar you're indicating right now?
Oh, there always is one.
speakeasy.
There always is one. And they are quite crazy and intense. Tell me, interestingly, living in Dubai and everything, you travel all around the world, does the India card help?
There used to be racist undertones a few years back, definitely, in a few parts. Not in the US, but in Europe sometimes. But the world has changed in the way they look at Indians, for sure. There's definitely a underlying respect coming in, for sure.
Yeah. I love that. That's
the thing which, you know, which is the key. I feel that Indian entrepreneurs and Indian food is winning hearts all around the world. If you look at it in the right way. So, and in a funny way, India is the new Chinese. I mean, I'm talking about the food technically, and nothing else, but
Yeah.
I mean, butter chicken is a national dish.
Yeah, UK's national dish is curry for sure.
Yeah, we're talking about food totally. Nothing else. We're only talking about food.
Yeah.
Since we're on Sheikh Zayed, we have to talk about your, you can give us recommendations for your food places in Dubai.
Oh my god. So I grew up in South India.
Okay.
I'm a Jain North Indian, but I grew up in South India. So you can take the boy out of Chennai, but you cannot take Chennai out of the boy.
Is there anything basic about you? You know, everywhere tech, hospitals. Wow,
No, this is an interesting mix. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I love my South Indian food, and I'm always on the lookout for authentic South Indian food. And my wife is from Bangalore and I'm from Chennai, so there's always a sambar fight happening. Whether the sweet sambar of what I call yucky sambar of Karnataka
Tell me
is
about
good,
it. Tell me about
or the Tamil Nadu sweet normal sambar is good. So we're always on the lookout. I'm not that much of a foodie, but I'd love to get into that fight with her when it comes to South Indian food.
So Sarvana Bhavan?
Sarna Bhavan is a winner, MTR is a winner, Venus is a winner. But, and again, yes, you've got the best of Michelin star restaurants in Dubai, you've got all the best. But I love talking about these real places.
Like when it comes to Karama, it is.
If you need a dal makhani in Dubai, I'd still go to Gazebo.
Yeah,
If you
100%.
if you want a paneer tikka masala, you are going to go to Gazebo. Boss,
Yeah.
you are not going to beat that in any fancy Michelin star restaurant. I'm sorry.
उसमें इतना पनीर होगा.
Yeah.
नहीं, ऐसा
Big
नहीं
plates
है.
and small paneer.
I write about restaurants, so I got the Indian restaurant has 2 Michelin stars here now. Huh?
Yeah, that's
the
true.
only one.
Yeah.
So it's right here in Dubai.
No, I've been
and
there. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, but it's not soul food for me.
It's technically the first
Indian
event ever to be hosted at the Statue of Liberty, and the only one in 17 years. So there's never been an event in the last 17 years. Last was Apple technically, yeah.
Oh
So,
wow.
Wow.
Hello Tim Cook.
I don't think so. Tim Cook was there 17 years ago, no?
Yes.
Or he might.
No, he was part of Apple. He's always been part of
Okay,
Apple.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes. At Mashable, if you don't know our tech, then we
Yeah,
know.
that's yeah. I can talk about food better than that.
Correct. So we are in Business Bay. I love this area because downtown and Business Bay are like my 2 favorite places in Dubai. Tell me, how have you seen this come about and evolve?
Oh, that's a favorite dialogue of anyone living in Dubai for a long time.
Yeah.
ये मेरे सामने बना है. Everyone loves saying that. So I'm going to say this as well. ये सब मेरे सामने बना है.
What used to be here?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It was that patch of sand multiplied by 1,000. It was just sand here.
Oh wow.
And it was when I came in 2002. Sheikh Zayed Road had like barely any skyscrapers. The Palm Island had just been reclaimed. Business Bay didn't exist. Downtown didn't exist.
Wow.
All this came up in 2007 onwards. So it's been heartening to see the growth of the city, and they're not stopping yet. There's a cafe close by where we can probably go, where I finalized the deal for the hedge fund finally over a tissue paper.
What?
Yeah, it was 6 months of suits doing that due diligence was done.
Yeah.
And we had reached a stage where we were negotiating over the price, and it was just the buyer and me. We went down for a coffee. And we sat there. He wrote something on a tissue. I cancelled it, wrote something else on a tissue. We laughed about it. He wrote a number. I agreed to it. We shook hands and we walked out.
Lovely. I think that's one way to do business.
I have a tissue right here, Yeah, small numbers. I'm not
Show
asking
me
for
the
big
money.
numbers.
He's still waiting with the tissue paper.
Take it, guys.
That was fun to have Puraskar. I'm looking forward to New York. I'm sure you're as well.
Oh yeah, he hosts some kick-ass events. Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. Tell me this: what is the biggest takeaway that you took from the hedge fund job?
Clients don't need service. Clients need attention. We had some major businesses with us who had invested in us, and it almost didn't matter whether this is assuming you run a tight enough ship where your service levels are already pretty standard.
Yeah.
This is assuming that's the caveat there. Apart from that, it is the monthly call I would make to the big guys, the monthly calls I would make to them, or the lunch, those things that matter more to them, that there's someone to hear them. So I was in New York, actually I was in Chicago, and we had to go to New York to meet this big guy who had promised to give this kid who was 22 that time a bit of money to invest in his fund.
Yeah.
And
you always remember your first investment.
Yes,
No? It's very dear to you.
I had about $600 in my pocket, and the ticket from Chicago to New York, flight ticket was about $450.
Oh shit.
So I was like, shit, this is going to be tight, but what the hell, let's take a chance. So I took the punt, bought the ticket, landed up in New York. I had a whole speech that I prepared overnight and everything, and all set to go. And I reached there with a full presentation deck, everything set, and I still remember that sight. That he came and sat, in front of me, and with the first question he asked, and you know how Americans are, they're quite direct, which I love.
Yeah.
And they said, how many investors do you have? And I wasn't prepared, and I just said, as the only way I know to be direct, I said, you'll be my first. So he slid the deck across the table and said, get out. I was like, okay. Heartbroken, went back home. There was a friend I was staying with in New York. We were at a pub drinking away my sorrows of losing 450 and a prospective investor.
Yeah, of course.
And at 10 p.m., the phone rang. And it was him. And I answered and he was like, yeah. And he said, you... Beep. I don't know how much I can swear on this.
Yeah,
on
of
this
course. No, you can't.
Yeah. So you have been running in my head all day. Come and see me tomorrow. Your honesty was good. I was like, that's all I need. So I went and presented the next day to him, and
Suddenly the alcohol was tasting better.
yeah, it was much better. Again, couldn't sleep that night, but. So I went and gave a half an hour presentation, but I think he had already decided in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He just heard me out, and he signed a check of $25,000 that day. He was my first investor, and when we actually sold the fund in 2017, he was still with me almost 15 years later, and he was my largest investor.
Oh, you made him good money too then, of course.
Yes.
He wouldn't have stayed this long otherwise. So you were good. Then why think of switching or doing something else?
I don't know, man. I think I was done. Maybe it's my ADHD taking over there. I think I need to keep looking for bigger, greater things. And somehow sitting in front of a laptop was not seeming exciting enough at that time.
Fair.
Pessimists sound right, but optimists make money. That is the way I look at life. So when we got an offer to sell the fund, it was a landmark deal for the region, and I said, okay, let's do it. So we sold the fund. So I partied for 1 month, panicked for the next 6 months.
That's an interesting way to go about life.
Yeah, and panic and like, what next? And that's when the next phase of my life began in 2017, when we started doing technology and facial recognition and stuff like that.
Okay, so a little Hindi here because folks from the desis across the world will understand. एक जैन आप बनिया हो कि मारवाड़ी?
मैं दोनों नहीं हूँ, मेवाड़ी हूँ।
मेवाड़ी हो?
कुत्ता स्टेशन में या पॉमेरियन।
The community may not like that too much, but they'll understand it. तो ये बताओ कि मेवाड़ी क्या माँ के पेट से धंधा सीख के आता है?
I am blessed. I have no qualms in admitting that I am blessed to be growing up in an entrepreneurial environment.
Yeah.
It definitely helps. When you hear of strength SWOT analysis as a 10-year-old, when you hear of risk-taking from the time you're born, it definitely helps. I'm not denying that at all. It definitely helps. And 1 year of actually running your own business can teach you much more than any MBA in the world will.
That's true.
And 1 year of investing your own capital will teach you 100 years of investing someone else's capital.
Tell me, what can you tell us about facial recognition, what you do and who you work with?
I can tell you, but I'll have to kill you. So we do facial recognition for governments and businesses in a lot of places. That's all I can tell you. I can also tell you that we get 600 attacks per day.
Ouch.
So I more than that I would not like to disclose. But yes, that is something which we are very proud of. We are one of the largest deployers of the technology around the world, not just in the Middle East. But we are one of the largest deployers of this technology around the world.
So when I came through Dubai airport and I went through immigration within 30 seconds, that was because something y'all...
I neither confirm nor deny it.
Well done, fair enough. Thank you so much. I think this tech will take us very, very far ahead, and I think the travel and tourism industry, apart from all the BFSI folks, will thank you. Also, what are the unit economics like when it comes to enterprise works, if you can disclose?
Which part?
Like top line versus bottom line, how is it different?
We're not doing bad. We're not doing bad. It's all right. We will be closing in about $400 million of revenue this year.
Just dropping it like that. Not bad is
No.
400 million plus.
It's a small little company.
Fair
That's
enough.
it.
I would like to meet the gauge of your small. If this is small, then what is large for you? Interesting. Very
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
So, how are you celebrating your wins, and how are you tackling your lows?
I have a concept called deep positive emotions and
Okay.
shallow negative emotions. I think most people get it wrong, get it the other way around. So when I look for each, and this is something that we've learned from our guru again, Mahatria, but we tend to, anytime there is something deep, something positive happening, it could be as small as my kid winning something at school, we make
Yeah.
sure it's a celebration. We go out for lunches, we go out for dinner. You train your subconscious mind to, yes, this attract more of this. I need more of this. This is good. This is good, and you need to let your subconscious mind know that you like this. So
Okay.
every chance to celebrate, if Happy achieves something, a new trick or something, we are all going out for dinner to celebrate.
Oh,
it.
lovely! It's not
Yeah.
just a treat.
It's not just a treat. We're going to celebrate it. So deep positive emotions. And
Interesting.
I keep shallow negative emotions. I'm not saying don't process it. You don't need to learn from your mistakes. You don't need to dwell on what went wrong, how you can make sure it doesn't repeat again. But keep it shallow.
Okay.
Don't take it inside. Don't take it deep. Don't let it burn you. I know it's easier said than done because companies are like your babies. But try to keep it shallow. Any negative emotion, and somehow that seems to be working for me.
Interesting.
Because your subconscious attracts what it doesn't know good or bad. It just knows deep and shallow.
Yeah.
So if it will attract more of what it thinks you like, which is deep. And for me, I've made that as positive.
That means you have a spiritual side going, which is also governing all of these emotions, correct?
I am a spiritual guy, and in every way, spirits are good.
Yeah. We are driving around in your Tesla, and there is a big ass massive battery that's running underneath us. What is lithium ion like, and what are you all doing exactly when you're saying you're mining and extracting and creating?
Oh man, this is something that's so close to my heart right now.
Yeah.
So Titan Lithium is the next big project of RK Group,
Okay.
where we are producing battery grade lithium carbonate to be used in batteries all around the world.
Okay.
So let me give you a simple example. So there are about 60 million vehicles, cars, sold in the world every year.
ठीक है.
Currently, about 5% or 3 million of them are electric,
Okay.
give or take based on China's numbers. But because 29 countries have passed laws, either phasing out petrol and diesel engines or internal combustion engines, or completely banning, by 2035, this number of electric vehicles is supposed to touch 50% conservatively of new car sales.
So at least 30 million for sure.
So at least 30 million cars are going to be electric. You cannot have an electric car without a battery pack, and you cannot have a battery pack without lithium.
Of
It's the
course.
only known scalable electrolyte in the world, which is proven.
Interesting.
There are fringe technologies like hydrogen cell and sodium cell and coming up, but those will take time to mature.
Yeah.
Lithium ion batteries are today. It's even powering your phone. It's
That's
when,
what, right? This
when
has
your
lithium
phone
ion.
goes from 0 to 100 or 100 to 0,
Yeah.
it's the lithium ions that are moving from the anode to the cathode and vice versa. This is something that really drives me, this passion. Let me give you a small example. Every year, thousands of children in our national capital, Delhi,
Yeah.
die of lung cancer. And 40% of pollution in any city is caused by cars. So if I can save even 10 kids' lives by this lithium that will go into electric cars,
Yeah.
God damn it, the whole project becomes worth it.
Interesting. So, what is the process like? Where are you finding these mines? Because I'm a science first guy. I realize you were maths first. You took finance.
Yeah.
But suddenly you have the science in you.
Oh yeah, I've become half an engineer based on
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Again, the credit goes to my team. I'm nothing without them. They are the people who are putting all this together. So the lithium in the natural habitat, in its natural form, is in two forms. One is brine, which is liquid, which is mainly concentrated in South America, Chile, Brazil, Argentina, Bolivia, and those parts
I
of the
know
world.
about Bolivia, yes.
And then there is spodumene rock, which is
Uh-huh.
basically a rock which has 1% lithium in it.
Okay.
So we have secured a mine which is 22,600 hectares in a confidential location.
Okay, tell me this. compare it to the size of Dubai, how much would that
it's
mean?
10 times the size of Dubai airport, which is one of the largest airports in the world. It's half of Dubai basically.
Wow.
22,000 hectares is a mine we have secured. So that's where the we are basing it on spodumene, which has 1%. We are a very ESR driven organization, so environment, economic, social responsibility is very important to us.
Okay.
So we are putting up half the plant there itself, in the location of the mine itself. So we go from 1% spodumene to 7% spodumene concentrate in
So
the mine.
spodumene is a rock?
Is a rock. Spodumene is a rock. And 1%, it's a naturally occurring rock which has 1% lithium basically.
Man, that's a lot of work for 1%.
Yeah. But it's quite straightforward, and contrary to popular belief where it's very harmful or anything, absolutely not. This is an extremely clean and extremely refined process. There are a few other chemicals in battery chemicals
Extraction.
that are a little more damaging to the environment, but
Okay.
lithium is absolutely not.
And there's governments which have announced subsidies and interesting plans to kind of make it affordable for the consumer as well.
Huge. UAE has been a breath of fresh air for us. That's one of the reasons why we chose UAE. Yes, I've lived here for 20 years, but that's one of the reasons why we chose this as the location for the refinery, because this year 2023 is declared by His Highness as the year of sustainability.
Interesting.
So they've been they've been welcoming us with open arms. We've got incredible support from the government. Yeah, and this is happening around the world. I alone cannot solve the world's problem.
100%.
So there's a lot of interest across the world, be it Canada, be it Australia, be it China. There's a lot of interest coming in. And my
Lovely.
dream would be to supply this in cars that run in India and save our kids' lives.
I generally am doing this for the women or the men, depending on where the person swings. But the first time I'm saying this to the businesses. But yeah, Mr. Tata, Mr. Mahindra, and everybody else who's manufacturing in India, say hello to our man over here. But interesting. I think this is why I love Indians, because we are not overtly bechu, but we're very ethically kind of telling everybody that this is our proposition, this is our service that we bring to the table. And do you think that's why Indians and the way we are, seeing leadership across the world, which has Indians, is increasing?
100%. So I think we've always been education-centric society.
Yeah.
So education has always been our forte, and what that has led to is we are no more hustlers. We are organization builders. I think that is the reason why Indians continue to do well. Yes, the family values help. Yes, the education helps.
The hospitality.
The hospitality, all that helps. The culture helps definitely, because we are not ones to earn money to blow up our money. We are thinking of 3 generations down the line.
That's true.
All that helps. But I think what the biggest change has been that we're not trying to be hustlers anymore.
Yeah.
Hustling in life can only get you from A to C. It will never get you from A to Z. From C onwards, and this is something I see in budding entrepreneurs as well. When I say hustling, I mean in a wrong sense. Don't try to do jugaad. Don't try to just fix something with a sellotape. Build organizations, build cultures, build products, build services, build something, play the long game. And that's something which I've learned from my fellow peers, and only that honesty, that credibility will get you from C to Z.
When they see this, they realize that this man doesn't sleep, or does he have clones? So are you sleeping at all?
There are weeks which go crazy, but there are weeks which are absolutely normal. I do believe in balance in life. It has to be this and that. I think that is my philosophy of life anyway. You don't have to choose between this or that. It can be this and that. You don't have to choose between being ethical and successful. You can be this and that. You don't have to choose between being materialistic and spiritual. You can be this and that. You don't have to choose between not sleeping and being successful. You can do both. There will be crazy weeks. There will be heartache. There will be heartburn. There will be days where you don't know if it's day or night, and you've had 48 hours and coffees and not just barely alive. You power through them. But yeah, then there are good days and bad days. I wouldn't pretend to be so pompous to say that I never sleep. No.
So you manage time,
Yeah.
and that's how you work around.
Yeah.
You also spoke about jumping jobs, or jumping, but what do you pick when you're jumping? Like how do you decide कि ये है जो मेरे को करना चाहिए जिससे बेहतर होगी जिंदगी?
Yeah, this is something I wish I had learned earlier. So there is an analogy to it. How much do you think the world's number one tennis player makes in a year?
I don't know, 100 million?
Yeah, let's say $100 million.
Yeah.
How much do you think the world's number one badminton player makes?
About 50? I don't know.
No, 900,000.
900,000?
Yeah, about $1 million. Let's call it $1 million.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the...
Yeah. So now both, again, this is nothing against badminton. Of course, that's his passion or anything. I'm not, but I'm trying to get somewhere. Now both of them give their blood, sweat and tears for their job. They both work equally hard. They both sacrifice a lot. They're both
are racket sports?
Both are racket sports. Both are there from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Burning, training, sacrificing, gymming. But one guy earns 100 million and one guy earns 1 million. You know what's the difference? It matters what game you play. We all have only 24 hours in the day. We all have only that much time to work. We have only that many years, 20, 30 years of peak performance in us. I might as well play tennis in the business sense than badminton. So aim for the stars. Look at which can be scaled up. Because you're gonna spend the same amount of time. Whether you buy a house for $1 million or you buy a house for 100 million, you're gonna do the same due diligence. It's gonna take you the same time. So
you're gonna love it as much.
You're gonna love it as much. So hopefully, where your passion drives you is something that's tennis.
How are you coming up with new ideas? Like, is there? I know right now it will be lithium, but does a idea strike which makes you think that this could be the next thing?
No, once I freeze on an idea, I'm no more jumping ships. Then I'm focused on executing it. You cannot always be jumping. So the tough part is finding what is appealing, what is scalable. Like we discussed everything. What gives you passion?
Yeah.
All these three things. That the tough part is finding it. Once you find it, then it's all hands on deck. When I did the hedge fund, I only did the hedge fund. When I did the technology, I only did the technology. And now when I'm doing the lithium, I'm going to be doing what I already do in terms of technology and etc. But after that, it's just that. It's only going to be what we've already decided to do.
Superb. That is also true. When you're working somewhere full time, don't try to run a parallel ship because you'll not be in either or and you'll probably be bad at both.
There should be no fallback.
Yeah.
That's the only time you will actually taste success.
That's the whole point of a leap, no?
Yes. It has to be a leap of faith. Like you cannot have a fallback.
How does IoT really work? Like, again, you can go a little geeky there.
IoT is nothing but every connected thing is everything that is not connected to the internet gets connected to the internet.
Yeah,
right?
Internet of Things.
Yes. So it can be a microwave, it can be a dishwasher, it can be data itself talking to data. It can be this car, which is an IoT device again. So that is the backbone of every technology implementation that's happening. Now that market, IoT market, is expected to be at least 10x times of what the smartphone market is.
Oh,
today.
wow.
Yeah, because the phone is just one thing in your life. Even if you look at your life, the number of things you own, including cars, microwaves, is at least 10 times. Phone is 1 out of 10 things that you own.
That's true.
And if everything has to go on the internet, that needs to be there. And also, when you talk of technologies and KYCs and digital transformations, it matters what the tunnel is.
Yeah.
It's not so much about the technology. It is more about what it is talking to, what it is connected to. If your facial recognition is just talking about, if Starbucks deploys facial recognition, they can only tell you what coffee you order, what was your previous order, how many coffees you have in a year. If that's connected to a government or a school or a technology or a big data provider, they'll be able to tell what
multiple data points.
So that is the important bit that needs to be that's getting solved, and where the scalability comes from.
I think at Mashable we love understanding the geeky side of things a lot.
Yeah.
So thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much. I think you're to the right there.
And for folks who are wondering if you're hiring, where can they go? Do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to Mashable Middle East. We'll keep doing Mashable mornings more often. This is me, Siddhaarth Aalambayan, signing off.